Good morning.
Good morning. I'm just testing the eggs to make sure that you didn't try to sneak in some juicy ones on me. Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto on the Couch, where we just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time I salt my bacon, you'll be alerted to it.
You're insulting the cook.
I'm so sorry, but you know what? We've been married for a while now, and I know, like you know this about me, I'm going to salt the food. I'm going to salt it, because I don't know, I just know that my salt threshold is like up here.
So it is Saturday, September 10th.
It is.
Busy day.
Lots of good things.
We are getting ready to, as soon as we're done with our breakfast, we're going to be going to do an interview for our podcast. If you have not yet subscribed to our podcast, go do that. There's some links for them down below. It's on all of your favorite podcast networks, Spotify, Audible, obviously Apple Podcasts,
I have
Google.
a knife. What am I doing?
I don't know why you brought us a knife, but we're on all the different podcasts. Go ahead and subscribe. Listen to them all. They're really cool. I'm enjoying them. I enjoy making them. I was listening to the one that we did on scale, and I was listening to it in the car with Anthony, and I just looked over at Anthony and I said, your parents are messed up.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think we're alone.
No.
I get encouraged that our children have never been interested in the scale.
No.
Ever.
Anthony's like, I can't tell you the last time I've been on a scale.
No, I mean,
I'm like, more power to you.
Unless they've had a doctor's appointment, they don't step on the scale. And you know what? I feel good about that. Mm-hmm. They know, even when they're doing something they're not supposed to, if they are increasing in weight for some reason, if they are, feel like they've lost some muscle, they know it. It's not like that they need the scale to tell them, I need to clean up my eating or I need to work out more, right? I mean, we know.
I love the fact that they don't live and die by that scale the way we do. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was listening to that podcast. I'm like, we're messed up. But it's just been an unhealthy relationship with that thing.
And just like our keto journey has taken a long time because we've had a lot of things on the inside to heal, we have a lot of emotional stuff that we're still working on. That was decades of dealing with the scale and living and dying by it. So, of course, it's hard for us to get rid of that joker.
Yeah, so if you want to hear how messed up we are, go listen to the whole podcast about the scale and listen to all the rest of them, too.
Yeah.
But we're going to be interviewing Ready, Set, Keto.
Are you ready, set keto for this interview?
I'm excited about it because they're doing it right.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to talk to them about the fact that their whole family is doing keto. They've got their son involved in it, and they're walking the talk. Well,
and I feel like I wish that we could go in a time machine and show everybody the entirety of our keto journey. But you know what? When you talk about messed up, I think that it was hard for us to share to begin with because we falsely assumed that this would be like every other time that we've ever tried to lose weight or get healthy. We thought we would have some success for a while, and then all the weight would come back. We certainly weren't thinking about health results when we started, but we thought, hey, we're not going to stick to this. So why put yourself out there when you know that, like, well, this measure of success is only for a short period of time. So I'm thankful that they just put it out there from the get-go.
Right. So we are 10 days into beef, butter, bacon, and egg, or this is day 10 of it.
How do you feel about it?
How are you feeling?
I feel awesome.
breakfast.
I mean,
I'm enjoying breakfast.
Hello, although, you know I want some butter, some more butter for this bread.
I cooked that bread in bacon grease.
I know, but you know, I like it really moist. Sorry, kids.
I knew this was coming.
Moist. Yeah, you know me.
So,
this is new bread, though.
10 days in, here's breakfast. So, yesterday, I made Indigo Nilly's new butter bread. It's a little bit of a fail, as you can see. But that's because I was in a rush. I was on my way out to the game. I'm like, I had like warmed up or brought to room temperature my eggs because I like to use fresh egg whites, and we have a lot of eggs.
Right.
So I had them out, and I'm like, oh, okay, I should just make this. But I didn't have time to like put parchment paper in, so I sprayed the pan with some, spray. I did use avocado oil spray. Sorry about that. But I sprayed it, which makes this happen to the bread because it goes away. And then I told Rachel, like, hey, just take it out when the ringer goes off. But overall, I tried it last night. It's really good, and I love the fact that it's fatty. One of our problems with the PSMF bread is it's just too high in protein with no fat. And I like the fattiness. I like the flavor that the butter is bringing to. Go check out that video. I'll put a link for it right up here. I actually was talking to her on Instagram for a little while, but really excited about that. So we have a couple slices of that. Then when I did that, again, I'm using fresh eggs. So we had egg yolks left over.
Yes, we did.
So I had 3 eggs with 2 extra egg yolks. I just put them in a little glass container, store them in the refrigerator. Just make sure you store them in a, in a nice container. And then cook them up, and then Rachel had 3 eggs with 1 extra egg yolk.
So delicious.
Then we got bacon and coffee. This is, I've never tried this one. This is in an espresso.
It's good.
This is the Intenso flavor. Super intense.
It's Intenso. It's not false advertising.
2 tablespoons of butter in here.
So I'm really glad that we are reincorporating a bread of some sort, even on Triple B&E.
But with breakfast.
We don't have to be afraid of it, because I have as much as it is hard for me to work out multiple coffee experiences, it's also hard for me to work in things that I kind of thought I have a problem with. So I was afraid to have this bread back. I mean, that seems silly, right? It's like, come on, Rachel, it's just bread. But I was afraid if we make it, I'm going to turn it into a drive-by situation, which is what I did with it last year.
Right.
But you know what? I can do better. I can improve. And I can have this with a meal and not have this when I'm not in a meal.
Now, I want to say, her recipe calls for arrowroot. We did not use that. I don't want the carbs from the arrowroot.
Right.
And also, you're supposed to put allulose in. I didn't put the allulose in either, but look what the butter does to the crust, right? That just, I mean, it came out really well, other than the fact that the side shrank in. You
always still want to have something to drink with this. It's always like, I mean, it can really hit your throat hard, and
small bites
instantly when you have bitten off more than you can actually chew. Because, I mean, you could choke on it. So make sure that you have something to drink when you're making any of these breads.
Now, after our interview at Ready Set Keto,
yes,
we have our supporter live stream. Right, that's going to be at 12 o'clock, and we're going to do it on Crowdcast. Hopefully, everybody can get in.
Yeah,
it's an experiment.
It is.
It's really are grateful for everybody who are channel supporters. We couldn't do this without you.
No,
and if you can't be a channel supporter,
it's okay.
You don't need to be. All you need to do, if you want to support us and can't become a channel supporter for whatever reason, you know how we ask you to do? Support us by watching our videos. Support us by sharing our videos, making sure you comment, making sure you like, because all of that engagement helps us get out to more people. YouTube will recommend us to more people. And then if you do purchase anything, use the links that we have down below in the description. If you buy something on Amazon, go to anything that we linked on Amazon. It could be anything. It could be for
toilet paper.
The yogurt, no, but if we link, I don't think we have toilet paper.
No, but I mean, you used our link for a yogurt strainer.
And click on the link for the yogurt strainer, and then go find toilet paper.
Yeah,
and it gives us a couple of pennies, and that really helps, because then we can take that Amazon money to buy more cameras.
So we can bring more videos.
And you have something on the other side of the butter I wanted to show, because after that we have you're going to have the girls over to do Michelle's baby shower.
Well, we're in the planning stages. So Michelle's going to have a baby shower on October 15th. Yep. So this is September 10th. And I feel like the weight of planning is like, it's here now. We got the invitations. We
have a lot of traveling coming too, though.
Right. So that stresses me out a little bit because I want to make sure that it's pretty. It's the first shower that I've ever planned.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm really excited about it. And we want it to be pretty. And so I've asked Anthony and Caleb's girlfriends, Sarah and Tasha, to come and help me plan because I know that what I probably think of as baby shower cute is 20-year-old baby shower cute.
Right.
And there's probably some new things.
So I just wanted to point this out. This is how you know you're winning as a parent. When the girlfriend of one of your children calls up and said, I'm coming over to help with the baby shower, and I would really like a little snack or dessert. So can you make me a keto chow ice cream in the creamy?
A strawberry ice cream.
Like not, can you go to the store and buy me some sugared garbage nonsense?
Yeah.
Can you make me a keto chow because I know it's healthy for me?
So I'm like, heck yes. So last night Joe came home from his game and prepped a strawberry creamy for her. 4
tablespoons of butter. With the strawberry. I put a little bit of tarragon in there. It was hard. I'm going to tell you. It was hard because when I make my keto chow ice cream, the way I do this is I melt the butter.
Right.
I pour it into the creamy container. I fill the creamy container the rest of the way up to the line with warm water. I then dump that into the Vitamix. I add in my keto chow, I add in my tarragon, and then I pour it back in. This way, I'm right at the line, right? But the keto chow takes up a little bit of volume when you do that. So after you fill up your creamy, there's usually a few sips left of that keto chow, which I generally will then take my blender and do this. And I so wanted to do that, but we can't.
We can't do it.
We can't.
You're accountable, not just to me.
Beef, butter, bacon, and egg.
You're accountable to everybody that's on it.
So back to beef, butter, bacon, and egg before we finish up our breakfast. I'm enjoying this. I feel like my clothes are getting looser. Last night, I felt great on the field. And here was the thing. We ate. I made breakfast, but then Anthony and I had to go to work. And then I had to come home and I had a Zoom call. And so I didn't have time to eat my breakfast. We had to take my breakfast and put it in the refrigerator. And I ate it when I got home around 12 o'clock. But now I wasn't hungry for my dinner before my game because I don't want to eat directly before my game. And my game was earlier. It's normally 7 o'clock start time. Last night the game was 6 o'clock, which means I had to leave at 4:30. So I got through the whole game based on what I ate for lunch, which was just a couple of eggs and a hamburger.
I think that it's a testimony for our marriage that while you were gone at the game, I ate. I didn't want to wait until late to eat. And so I ate. It was
the meal prep.
It was like 4 o'clock. The meal prep was awesome. And then when you got home, I was full. And because I was full, I didn't feel the need to be like, well, you're eating, so why don't I just go ahead and eat again?
Right.
Which is really, really nice.
What we used to do.
I mean, I feel very victorious in that. Maybe for some people it doesn't sound like a big deal, but the fact that every single time I see somebody eat, I don't need to eat is a very powerful thing for me.
We have an interview in 15 minutes. Let's finish eating.
Is this thing on? Tap, tap, tap.
Are you talking about this or that?
Well, either. I never know when anything is on and when everything is off. Like, I know now, don't get undressed in the studio.
Yeah.
Which, you know, you'd be done with something, you're like, oh, it's hot, we have to turn off the air conditioning, and I'll just be like, let's go. And it's like, don't do that, because you never know if the camera is still on.
So, yeah, we just finished our supporter live stream over on Crowdcast. It was really awesome. Before that, we did the interview with Ready, Set, Keto for one of our podcasts.
They're amazing, and I think that is really going to be a podcast that helps a lot of people, especially the fact that they're sharing even the struggles of transitioning a child from eating a standard American diet to eating keto, because everybody isn't starting out with like a toddler. Right. Sometimes you're trying to transition your children and they're already in elementary school. So they're used to eating a certain way and you're trying to change it all up.
Yeah, you look at people like Dr. Barry or Dr. Sivas or Crystal and Robert or even Michelle with, you know, our granddaughter coming, that it's easier for them because the children haven't been exposed to this stuff. But when you take a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old who's been exposed to all the sugary cereals and then say, now you can't have it, that's a difficult struggle to, you know, go through.
And they can communicate clearly their displeasure with things. So, yeah.
And then after that, we just finished up the supporter live stream on Crowdcast. I'm really enjoying Crowdcast because I like the way we can have polls. You can raise your hands, which we've been a little hesitant to use the feature of bringing people on because Rachel's worried that I'm going to say something silly. But there's some cool features to it. I really like the question section. So if you have a question, you can make sure that we see it.
So we took a little poll during the live stream to ask people, how did they ever come across us? Like, how did they find us? And while there was, I think it was like 36% had another YouTuber had suggested us, but right behind that at 35% was recommendation from YouTube.
Yes.
So engagement matters. Yep. So if you want more people to see us, please engage with it. Leave comments, leave a thumbs up, share the video, because that really helps the analytics and it helps YouTube to point other people to us.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about this morning. So that makes me think about this. I want you guys to do a favor right now. Pause the video, head down to the comment section, and I want you to put in the comment section, how did you find us?
How did you find us?
And so here's a few suggestions from a conference, from a recommendation of YouTube, or a suggestion from another keto influencer, whether it be a YouTuber, an Instagram, a podcast, anything like that.
So how'd you find us?
Let us know down below in the comment section. I'd be really interested to see where those results end up. Now, one thing I do want to say, if you are a channel supporter or if you're on our course and you're having trouble with Crowdcast, message us. Let's make sure we can get you on there. A lot of times it's just you're using the wrong browser, or maybe you've got a wrong setting, but we will do whatever we have to do to make sure you can get on there because it's that important to us.
Even if we have to send Joe directly to your home.
If we have to like hook up and share screens and I will walk you through, we will do it that way. The other thing I wanted to mention, though, when we were talking with Ready Said Keto, is that the comment that James, it will not leave my head, where he said, like, we were talking about not doing keto anymore. Like, could you ever go back to not doing keto? And his comment was so profound. He's like, I can't unsee it. Right? I can't unsee what I've seen now. I can't unsee what the standard American diet is doing to us. I can't unsee the health benefits of eating this way. That's powerful.
It is very powerful, because I think that, especially if you're new to keto, there are days when you're like, I just want to quit because I want to quit. I want to go back and eat the things that I have a craving for. We're heading into the holiday season, and this may be your very first holiday season on keto, and you're a little bit anxious about the holidays. That's definitely something that we bust through as well. And so we think to ourselves, you know what? I just want to stop what I'm doing because of the hassle of it all. But like James said, we can't unsee it. We know it's poison. So I don't want to take a 3-month break or a 4-month break and just feed myself a little bit of poison and wait to the new year in order to get back on track, because we can't unsee what we've seen now.
Okay, today we're gonna make a picanha, also known as a top sirloin cap. But normally we make this on the smoker or in a grill, and it comes out great, but not everybody has a smoker or grill. So today we're gonna make it in the oven, because if you do it correctly, it comes out delicious. Now, if you're curious, this is what a top sirloin cap or a picanha looks like. So when you look at the top sirloin cap, you're gonna see there is not a lot of fat within the meat. There's not really a lot of marbling. There's a little tiny piece of fat here, and there's a couple little strands here. But sirloin itself is a very lean cut of meat. All of the fat on a picanha is right here, this fat cap. And this is delicious if you cook it appropriately. So I'm gonna show you how to do that in the oven. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do, and ignore that noise, that is our mopping in the house. We're gonna turn it over to this side with all of the meat. And I'm gonna put a little bit of mustard. And the reason I'm putting some mustard is to get my salt and my seasonings to stick. It does bring a little bit of flavor, but most of this is to get my salt to stick. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of Redmond kosher salt and I'm gonna cover the whole thing with a decent amount of salt. This is gonna really help to bring some tenderness to the meat. And you can use whatever you want. You could use the Redmond garlic pepper, whatever you want. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some of this Redmond Real Salt Chef's Blend smoked salt because I'm not cooking it on the grill, but I do like that smoked flavor. So I'm gonna add some of this Redmond smoked salt to it and I'm gonna rub it all in there and make sure that we've got a decent amount of salt on there. Don't worry, a lot of this is gonna come off in the cooking, but again, it's gonna bring a nice flavor and also have a nice tenderness. And wow, this smells amazing. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a knife and I'm just gonna score some lines into the fat. I don't wanna penetrate all the way to the meat. I just wanna score some lines into the fat because this is gonna help with the rendering of the fat. It's gonna really break it down and really just make this like a candy kind of thing. So I like to put a bunch of like lines both ways so we have an X, and you can see how we haven't come all the way down to the meat. We want to get right before the meat, and this just really makes it delicious. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a little bit of mustard. You don't need a lot, just enough to kind of coat it to allow that salt to stick on there. And again, you can use whatever seasoning you want. If you're doing beef, butter, bacon, and egg, you definitely want to make sure you're using very low carb seasonings. Check the ingredients, make sure there's no dextrose or anything like that in there. And now we're gonna add some more of the smoked salt on top. This is a little bit of the hickory because there was just a touch left in the bottom of the bag. And now I'm gonna put some more of the Chef's Blend. And you can use any flavor you want. And again, rub it in there. What I actually like to do is kind of spread open these X marks that we made and get a little bit in there as well. So just kind of manipulate it. You don't need a lot, just a little bit. As you cook this down, that salt's gonna get into there anyway. Now, once you have it all coated in your salt and your seasonings, we're gonna leave it on the counter, let it come to room temperature, at least an hour. You really wanna let it come to room temperature because if you don't, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get the outside, it's gonna start to brown, but the inside is still gonna be way underdone. So we wanna bring this up to room temperature because we're not smoking it. So we're gonna let it sit on the counter for about an hour or so, and then I'll show you how to do the cooking process. Okay, it is time to eat. So we're gonna go ahead and stick this picanha in the oven. We're gonna go at 250 degrees till we get to an internal temperature of about 118, 120 degrees. Should take a little over an hour. It's been about an hour and a half. We're gonna go ahead and check our roast. Should be at the temperature we're looking for. So we're gonna go ahead and use our instant rate thermometer and check the internal temperature. Again, instant rate thermometer, one of the most important tools you can have. So we're at an internal temperature over here, 132 degrees. Actually a little bit higher than I wanted. But what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna go ahead and get the top caramelized. So I'm gonna pull this out and then we're gonna get the broiler going. Okay, we got our broiler up to high. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put this in there. I put a little bit of water into the pan just to help it out a little bit, and I just spilled some in the oven. And we're gonna broil this for just 2 or 3 minutes just to get that fat cap with a nice crust on top. Been about 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and check this thing out. One thing I don't like about this oven is this one particular shelf like rests on the door, but there you go. Look at that. That is beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and grab our other oven mitt and put this on the counter. Wow, look at that thing. That looks so delicious. I'm gonna make a few eggs. We're gonna let this just rest for a couple minutes and then we're gonna go ahead and eat. Okay, been resting for a little while. We're gonna go ahead and slice this. Now, one thing you wanna do is slice against the grain. I know where the grain is, but I'm gonna show you. What you wanna do is if you flip it over, you can see the grain. If you look, the grain is running this way. So we want to slice it this way. You ready?
Yes.
Now the end pieces are obviously going to be a little bit more well done because of the way it's shaped. So we're gonna come over here for you. I'm gonna slice it right here. And look at that.
Wow.
Look at that fat cap.
That is the perfect bite right there.
There we go. I'll slice one more piece here. Look at that. Look at, that is just perfect. Let's go ahead and slice this. You ready?
Yes, I am. Mmm. It's seasoned perfectly too.
Just Redmond smoked salt and Redmond coarse salt.
Mmm.
That's it. No garlic, no pepper, just the smoked salt.
Oh my gosh.
What are you... That was my piece.
Sorry.
Why did you take that piece?
Barely.
Tom, Rachel loves the fat cap.
I love the fat cap.
That's her. Look, I got another piece. Look at that. Look at all of that fat on there. I mean, a little bit of meat. But that's what's so awesome about the top sirloin. So the bottom is very lean. But then when you add on that fat and when you slow cook it like this.
Oh, it gets so nice and soft.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to try it. I haven't cooked one in an oven in a really long time.
Not super chewy.
Let me see.
Right? It's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Mmm.
And that Redmond salt. And I put a lot on there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to put so much on if you don't want to. But we really like that salt.
Wouldn't you?
Also, if you want some of that salt to come off, you can actually cook it fat side down, but I like it fat side up. When you do fat side up, the meat on the bottom stays much moister because that fat is just rendering down and coming over it, so it's not drying out as much. And then again, if you don't have the barbecue, just putting it in there on broil for just 3 or 4 minutes, that gives that fat up there, like just that really nice caramelization. Wow.
So good.
That's so good. We got the meat. There's a little bit more left over there. This particular top sirloin, it was about 2 pounds. The whole package was about 5 pounds. So this one's about 2 pounds. If we don't eat any more afterwards, we'll slice it up then. We can have that with breakfast.
That
we have
sounds
the
like a
eggs,
good plan.
which honestly makes me think, you know what? Let's go ahead and we'll finish this whole vlog up tomorrow morning with breakfast.
Mm.
Why is it that we do these early morning vlogs? I get up, I look like garbage, I'm still wearing my clothes from yesterday, and you're all done up.
Oh my gosh. I love you. I feel like I look like sweaty garbage, but I just had to get up and wash my face. I think that makes a big difference.
You don't need to do anything. You look beautiful as soon as you roll out of bed in the morning.
I love you. What are you buttering me up for?
Nothing, really. Well, I buttered up your bread for you.
Well, thank you for buttering my bread.
So we're going to have some leftovers from last night. And I actually have been up since about 5 o'clock this morning. The dog woke up and had to go to the restroom, and she never gets up in the morning. So if she is banging on our door, like...
Answer that call.
You know she needs to go, because that dog, she just never, ever, like, wakes us up in the morning to go. She'll hold it for a whole day if she has to.
Yeah, she's very courteous.
So here's what we're having. We have some leftover picanha. Finished it all up. I sliced it up thin. I had about 9 slices of bacon left in the one bag. So I fried it up. I have the rest of it right here as like purse bacon kind of stuff. And then what I did was I left the bacon grease on the Blackstone and then I warmed up the picanha in the bacon grease.
Oh, wow.
We got a couple of eggs. And then last night after I turned off the camera, I remade the bread.
Oh.
From Indigo Nilly. The one with the butter. And wow, did it come out perfect.
It is good.
It came out perfect. And here's the thing. We're on beef, butter, bacon, eggs, so I can't add allulose into the bread mixture. Good morning, Charity, who's going to lay right under the camera.
Right there.
Okay. But look at how brown everything came out. I think it's a combination of I'm putting it in the Innova oven, which has the convection fan in the back.
Right.
And also the butter. I don't think you need the allulose to brown it up with all of this butter, because look at how beautiful it is.
Fine.
And I found out what the secret, probably there's a video from Indigo Nilly or somebody telling you this, but when I've made this bread in the past, I've always taken my bread pan, and I have the long loaf pan. I've always sprayed it with avocado oil.
Right.
I didn't want to use avocado oil. And I started thinking, I wonder, because with all of the egg white protein, what happens is it affects the texture, right?
Right.
And that's why Indigo Nilly is using the frozen butter, because when you do the frozen butter, the fat doesn't take away from it, because it starts to fall as soon as you add fat. But the frozen butter doesn't do that. So I took a page from her book and I lined my pan with parchment paper and no avocado oil spray.
None.
And I think that that's why it didn't cave in on the side. I'm not gonna even make a video on how I did it, because Indigo Nilly's is perfect.
Right.
There's no reason for me to show you how to do it.
You don't need to add to perfection.
I don't want to take away from it. I am not using arrowroot. This is simply the recipe that she did, which is straight from the egg white powder, which I never do. But the bottom line is eggs are getting expensive. I think it's cheaper to use the egg white protein powder right now.
Yeah, especially since this is just the bread. It's not like a showcase. I like to have, my nice eggs.
Right.
And use those for, them being on their own.
Yeah. So I did that with the cream of tartar, the salt, and then I added in some egg yolk powder as well as the butter. So completely beef butter, bacon, egg.
Yeah.
Don't use this as a drive-by. That is my biggest concern. We have it in there, and I'm so terrified that we're going to walk by. So it's hidden away from us. It's got to be part of a meal. But with all of the fat and the butter in there and the egg yolk, and then I actually put a little bit of melted butter on the pan and soaked up some butter. So we're good. A couple slices of bacon. And then I got coffee. We got
Cheers.
1 tablespoon of butter in each one of them.
So good.
How are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling really good. I had an allergy attack or something last night that was just aggravating me. So that was frustrating. But other than that, I feel really good. I feel energized for the day. I'm getting fantastic sleep, according to Mr. Aura.
Which we are not sponsored by Oura Ring.
No,
we don't have a discount link or anything like that.
But I like seeing what is going on during beef butter, bacon, and eggs. And I think that what it's doing is helping me to substitute my data collection on the scale. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Because I think that I don't get mad at myself about how much sleep I got. I can actually observe it and be like, okay, that's the sleep that I got. Is it good? Is it bad? Would I like it to be better? Mm-hmm. But I don't feel like, you're such a terrible person. You didn't sleep hard enough. Sleep harder tonight. I don't have that pressure that I put on myself when I look at sleep like I do when I measure myself on the scale.
Right.
So I like observing something during this challenge, and this is my safest bet.
Right.
And I have been noticing good quality sleep. Well, look what we just came out of in the month of August, where we see how vital sleep is to our nutrition, to our digestive system, to our day, So I really like knowing that, okay, in beef butter and bacon and eggs, last time we weren't prioritizing sleep.
No.
We weren't taking a look at it. So I'm excited to see what all is going on in my body because of the good sleep.
And it's funny you mentioned sleep, because I feel like I'm sleeping sounder. The fact that I had to get up at 5 in the morning, it wasn't work. It was the dog. Yeah. But I was already on my way up. So it was kind of like a jump out of bed, which anybody who knows me, Rachel's the jump out of bed person.
Right.
I'm going to sleep at 1, 2, 3 in the morning and leave me alone until I'm ready to get up, which is usually close to her, but I'm not in a great mood in the morning.
But you came to bed at 10 o'clock last night?
Yeah, and I was out.
So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 hours?
7 hours, which it may not be great for a lot of people, but that's fantastic for me.
If you have been watching this channel for a year, you know that is a miracle. Yeah. Honestly, that is a miracle, because I used to be so scared about you because, I mean, if he got 2 hours of sleep a night, it was like...
And I can function that way.
Yeah, which scared me, because how long are you going to function?
And the thing is, yeah, was I able to function? Yes. Was it affecting my health? Yes. It absolutely was. Yeah. And so I'm glad that we're working on that. But before we close this out, since we're talking about sleep, one thing I did want to mention, if you are following along on beef, butter, bacon, and egg, some things I've noticed in our coursework with people who are taking our course, as well as posts in Facebook, people are like, I'm having a hard time sleeping. Couple of things that you might want to try. Number one, and that is, go ahead and close off your eating window a little early. Give yourself a little more room before you go to bed. That will help. Also, increase the amount of fat you have in your final meal before bed.
Yeah.
Maybe you might want to even slightly lower the protein, but more importantly than lower the protein, increase the amount of fat. That'll help you through the night. Also, if you're having leg cramps and things like that, just make sure you're getting some electrolytes in. You know, even eliminating the vegetables and stuff, you're not getting a whole lot of electrolytes from those vegetables. I think we're just very heavily reliant on taking our sweetened electrolytes. So we just have to increase in other places. Use the Keto Chow magnesium drops. Use the daily minerals from Keto Chow. Use the Redmond Relay capsules or the unflavored ones. Use salt. But you should be able to have all of your electrolytes and not have any of the electrolyte withdrawal if you're doing beef, butter, bacon, and egg.
Yeah.
If you're doing carnivore. It's not the vegetables, okay? It's not that we've eliminated vegetables and we're having those things. It's that we've eliminated how we were getting in some of our other electrolytes. So that's just something to maybe look at a little bit. But we're going to close this vlog out. I don't know the next vlog. It'll probably be when we leave because we have so much work to do because we're leaving on Wednesday to go to Tennessee.
And it's all got to get done.
We've got podcasts to record, videos to record. We've got coursework to work on. So what we'll probably do is pick up the vlogging as we're getting ready to leave for Tennessee. And you guys can see how we do beef, butter, bacon, and egg on the road. So if you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos we have linked right over there. Also, make sure you take a look at our most recent videos I'm going to put right over here.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon, and that way every single time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time.
Bye.